Hey everyone, today we are going to crack the code on something that, let's be honest, trips up pretty much everyone, writing an essay. But forget the stress, okay? We're going to take that big, intimidating assignment and turn it into a simple, clear, step-by-step plan. So let's dive in. You know the feeling, right? We have all been there. Just staring at that blinking cursor on a blank page and you can just feel the pressure building. That thought of, where do I even begin? It's a totally universal feeling, but I promise you, it's a feeling we can beat. So, what's the antidote to that dreaded writer's block? It's the outline. And I want you to reframe how you think about this. It's not some boring chore your teacher makes you do, it's your secret weapon. Seriously, think of it as a thinking document. It's the map that's going to guide you from that scary blank page all the way to a finished draft. All right, so first things first, there's a foundational rule we have to start with. Before you can even think about building your own argument, you have to become an expert on whatever it is you're writing about. You've got to deconstruct it, because to argue with something effectively, you first have to understand it deeply. A really powerful way to do this is something called a reverse outline. I want you to think of it like you're a mechanic. You're literally taking an engine apart, piece by piece, to see exactly how it works. So, first, you read deeply. And I don't mean just skim it. Then you start to map out the argument, kind of like drawing a little treasure map of its main sections. And finally, you isolate the author's key claims to find the absolute core of their argument, their thesis. So, for example, let's say you've deconstructed an article by an author named Garber. You might be able to boil down her entire argument into one single crystal clear sentence, just like this one. See how that captures her core worry? Finding the sentence is like finding the original blueprints to a building you're about to analyze. It's that important. Okay, so you've reverse engineered the source. You've taken it apart, you get it. Now for the really crucial part. It's time to forge your own thesis. This is where you make that big pivot from just understanding to actually responding. Now, your thesis has to be a direct response to the source, and you've got a couple of options here. You could agree or disagree straight up. That's totally fine. Or, if you want a more sophisticated approach, you can concede some of their points while challenging others. You know, a thesis like, Garber makes some fair points, but she overstates her case, shows a much, much deeper level of thinking and engagement. And let me be absolutely crystal clear about this. Your thesis is the North Star for your entire essay. Every paragraph, every single piece of evidence, every point you make, all of it must point back to and support this one central claim. It is, without a doubt, the most important sentence you are going to write in this whole process. So, with your North Star set, it's time to build out the body of your argument. And here's a pro tip for you. Don't think of it as just a boring list of facts. I want you to frame it as a lively, dynamic conversation between you and the original author. So what does this conversation actually look like in practice? Well, each body paragraph becomes a kind of mini conversation. It follows this really simple but powerful structure. You present one of the source's points, you state your response to it, and then, and this is the key, you provide your own proof to back it up. Let's break down that anatomy a little more. First up, the source says. You lay out one of their specific claims. Then you say, this is where you chime in with your take, whether you agree, disagree, or want to challenge it. And finally, your proof. Now listen up, because this is the most important part. This proof comes from your knowledge, your experience. We are not writing a research paper here. The evidence comes from your brain, not from a search engine. Okay, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, AI. It's an incredibly powerful tool, for sure, but the trick is using it the smart way. You have to always remember this. AI is your co-pilot, not your ghostwriter. So, the big question, can AI actually help you write your outline? The short answer is yes, absolutely. But how you use it makes all the difference in the world. It's the line between having a helpful tutor and, well, academic dishonesty. So here's the core distinction you have to understand. A bad prompt is a command, right? It's write a topic sentence for me. That's asking it to be a ghostwriter. But a good prompt, that's a request for guidance. Ask me questions to deepen my thinking about this point. See the difference? In this case, AI acts like a tutor, helping you discover your own ideas. So what are the best practices, the ground rules? Well, first, always draft the whole outline yourself. Then, if you get stuck, use AI as a sounding board. Be super explicit about its role. You can literally tell it, act as a tutor for me. And the golden rule, The one you can never break is never ever ask it to create the work for you. Your thinking, your ideas, they always have to come first. All right, we're on the home stretch. You've deconstructed the source, you've forged your thesis, you've built your argument. Now it's time to land the plane with a really powerful conclusion, something that's going to leave a lasting impression. A great conclusion does a few really key things. It avoids the temptation to just summarize everything you just said. I mean, your reader just read it. Instead, a good conclusion ties back to a cool idea or image from your intro. It offers some clear takeaways, and it answers that all-important question, so what? And ideally, it ends with a powerful, memorable final line that just sticks with your reader. Here's a great way to think about it. Imagine your introduction and your conclusion as bookends for your argument. The intro opens the door to your ideas, and the conclusion clicks it satisfyingly shut. It makes the entire essay feel whole, complete, and really intentional. So there you have it. The outline isn't a cage that restricts you, it's a key. It's the map that turns what feels like a daunting, impossible journey into a clear, manageable path. And now that you have that map, really, the only question left to ask is, what story will you tell?